tonight we have an awesome one of our own, the FitTRIBE Network, and part of the Good Vibe Tribe, and has her own team, Define and Defy, Natasha Nayduch, and she is a diamond coach, up and coming later, and she's going to be sharing with us all about the importance of challenge groups and having effective challenge groups. And I think this is going to be a really beneficial call for everyone because, you know, I just want you guys to know that Beachbody is really making that shift to make people realize how, you know, so many people I think are just signing up with this mentality to be a coach, like, oh, like money, money, money. And that's not what Beachbody is looking for. That's what a lot of coaching, or not coaching, but multi-level marketing companies are looking for. But I'll tell you right now, that's not what Beachbody is looking for. They have gone on a major shift back to the basics of we need to be helping people get results. I think that from being at leadership, which I will be doing a call in December to share with you guys some incredible stats that I think are going to really raise your spirits, raise your, you know, just like hope about where we are going. Because I'll tell you, I think, you know, we're part of like such a baby company and we are going incredible places. And I think some people are so nervous because we're going digital and, oh, we won't have like the challenge packs with the hard copy. Like who wants hard copy? Like how many people do you know that are like DVDs these days, you know? So I just want to, I can't wait to share the insight with you that I learned from leadership and show you the actual graphs of companies. And I'm not big on comparison. I always tell you guys, like always say, I don't know about them, but what I know about how awesome we are or how awesome I am is, you know, I can actually show you graphs that they did share with us that I have pictures of and stuff like that, where trends with multi-level marketing companies go like this. They have ups and downs. And Team Beachbody, as our coaching network, has gone like, it has little swerves because we all have dips. And they say it's very common on election years and on, the years of the Olympics. I was like, what's the other thing? Oh yeah, the Olympics. That we have those trends where we do the dips. So just so you guys know, you know, we are not going anywhere but upward. And we have just tapped into a baby international market going in Canada. And, you know, question is, where are we going next? Don't know for sure. But we're just getting started. So very exciting stuff. But I think it's really important that we hone in on what we are all about. And that's helping people get healthy, ending the trend of obesity. And how do we do that? It's not just with the results proven products we've been provided with, but what Natasha's going to talk about tonight. So I'm super stoked to have her on the call, and I'm going to pass on over to her. And I will do recognition at the end of the call just because I've shifted that. That's all we gotta get. That's all I got. So I'm gonna can you unmute you or?
Yep.
Oh, you good to go. All right, girlfriend, go.
Right. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm a slide doer because it keeps my brain on track. So let me pull this up here. Actually, let me open this and then pull it up. Hopefully. Okay, can you guys see that? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, so.
That's great.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I'm going to, hold on, let me shrink us down so that we can only see you talking, and there you go. Good, girlfriend.
All right. Okay, so, all right, this was my starting screen, but I'll go ahead and just get started. So I'm excited to talk. Thank you, Megan, for inviting me to chat. I'm glad to hear that this was something that you kind of talked about at leadership. It seems like it's going to align up without me knowing. So that makes me more excited. But so just a little bit about me. I actually know some of the people on the call, but I don't know a lot of you. So I'm Natasha. I am Ashley Lachlan is my personally I'm her personally sponsored coach. She's my upline coach. And I do have my small little team that we're slowly growing, Define and Defy. But I am a mom to my daughter Nora, and these are our exciting Christmas pictures that we just got back, so I had to put one on. And then she'll be 4 in February. And then my husband John, who is a realtor. So anyone who's out there who says, oh, I can't do this because I don't have, my husband works a lot, like I get that. You can do it. It's just tricky. I am a burnout school counselor by day. I work for a cyber school. And by night, I'm obviously a Beachbody coach. Little facts about me. I love Tony Horton, so I thought I'd throw that out there just in case anybody else was trying to, steal him from me. I have a passion for helping people. Obviously, I'm a counselor. It's just kind of in my nature. And I think a lot of us in this that have ended up Beachbody coaches do have a passion for helping. I see that with healthcare field and teaching and counseling, and I see there's a lot of us out there. So I know I have a lot of people in common with me there. And then I have a story just like each of you. And I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but I am just going to tell you a little bit about it because I always feel like that gets me inspired when I hear other people's stories. So I've rehearsed my story so I could cut it short. So hopefully I'll stick to that here for a couple minutes. But so basically, like I said, I have a 4-year-old daughter. I've always been somebody who was a fit person. I always was an athlete. I played sports. I worked out all the time, but I wasn't necessarily a healthy person. And I don't think I really understood there's a difference between being physically fit and being healthy until probably within the last 2 years. So I was always I was a major gym body. I was always in the gym, especially through college. And then I got married, and a few years later, had my little girl, Nora, and I completely started to struggle with myself. A lot of people I know and a lot of moms can resonate with the postpartum struggles. And I'm not talking like it was really hard. I had major anxiety. I actually had my maternity leave extended so that I didn't have to go back to work because of postpartum. And I struggled with being away from her, so that separation, but also just going anywhere with her. So traveling was really hard. Like I missed one of my good friends' weddings because I just couldn't even get my crap together well enough to travel. It was just really hard. And I was off for 7 months and then I had to go back to work. There were no other options. And I just couldn't get myself together, and I fell apart mentally. I was falling apart physically. I was so unhealthy. I was drinking giant sodas from McDonald's every day. It was just a really bad part of my life. And I knew I needed to make changes, but I just didn't know how. And I keep thinking back to what it was that made me go on a different journey. And really what it was I went to a health screening for the school district I was working in, where they did blood pressure, and they did blood work and all this stuff. And I got my blood work back and my cholesterol was borderline high. So I was I kind of was expecting it because it had runs in my family, and high cholesterol is just something that everyone in my family deals with medication. But it was, I'm a little person, physical stature, I'm little. I've never struggled with weight. Obviously, like I said before, I wasn't ever really a healthy person. I grew up meat potatoes family, not really health conscious at all. So when I saw my cholesterol was borderline high, I was like, crap, I was expecting this, but I don't want this for me, and I don't want this for my daughter. I don't want to take a pill every day. I know that this can be managed. So instead of jumping into being healthy, eating healthy and physically fit, I got into essential oils, and I made my home green, and I did all this other stuff because I just wasn't mentally ready to take a journey. And eventually I just was like, what am I doing? I'm so unhappy with myself. I'm unhappy with my body. I feel like crap. I have no energy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You guys hear it all the time. And my husband was like, why don't you try one of these workouts I've been doing for 4 years? Yes, 4 years. My husband had been doing P90X and P90X3. And now I kick myself in the ass all the time. Sorry if there's any kids around. because I'm like, man, I could have been coaching for 4 years. Like, what's wrong with me? But, you know, you can't do anything about it now. But, so I was like, fine, I'll try one of those stupid in-home workouts. And obviously I loved it because I told you before, I love Tony Horton. I saw results in like 30 days, the first 30 days of P90X. I had a few pounds I wanted to lose, but it really wasn't about the losing weight for me. It was like that post-mom body that you're just kind of soft, and like that all changed so quickly. And my eating, I understood what clean eating was, and et cetera, et cetera. Felt great. Loved it. Had no idea what a challenge group was or what a Beachbody coach was, though, at that time. And a friend of mine from grad school actually posted about her accountability group, and I was like, Beachbody accountability group, well, what's that? So I was like, yeah, I went in, but I'm not buying anything. I have my own program, and I'm not drinking Shakeology. I'm not spending the money on it. So she was like, cool, okay. And she like just let me join her group, and I was like, I could totally do this. This is cool. But I didn't actually get that there was a coach, like there was a business opportunity, until Ashley, I saw one of her posts, and I didn't know Ashley. We worked for the same cyber school, but that was as far as I really knew her, and she posted about it, and I was like, that's what I need to do. Like, I'm burnout. I'm a burnout school counselor. I need to do something else, and this is it. So that's my story. That's kind of how I got involved. And I had a business page, and I had a blog from when I was kind of like into essential oils. And so I decided to transfer all of that over into coaching, and it wasn't really followed or anything. Don't think it was. I had like 100 likes maybe on it. But I wrote my whole story, and I wrote about this transformation and how I found this coaching opportunity. I didn't really know what it was, but I was going to do it. And I got this huge response. So I kind of went backwards into everything, and I got a big response of people who wanted to join my accountability group. And then I was like, well, crap, what do I do now? I have to run an accountability group, and it needs to be good. And so when I had all these people come into this accountability group, I thought to myself, why am I doing this? So I want you to think about that. Like, why did you sign up to coach? And I came up with 2 different reasons that I think you'll be able to kind of think about and agree with for yourself, but these are my things. Of course, I wanted to help others to stay accountable to their wellness goals. That was something that I thought, like, through these accountability groups, that is something that's great. And that's something that I do with counseling anyway. I help other people. Perfect. I'm not going to completely throw out that 7 years of education, 8 years that I paid for out the window to do this. So I had to like justify that in my mind. But really for me, to be completely honest, was I knew I'd been doing these workouts for like, I don't know, 4 months or so at that point in time, 4 or 5 months. And I knew that I needed to keep myself accountable because I loved how I felt. I knew that the workouts were successful. I knew that I loved the fitness program. Now, I couldn't vouch for Shakeology at that point in time. I hadn't drank it yet. But I knew that I needed to keep myself there. I knew if I was running groups that I myself would be accountable. So no, I didn't necessarily sign up for the discount, which I'm sure some of you are kind of laughing about. You're like, yeah, that was me. That's why I signed up. I signed up to help others, but also to keep myself accountable. And I think that that's really something that I kept reflecting on as I started my first group. So I got into my first group and I kept thinking to myself, what would I want from this group? Okay. So what were things that I would want to feel, or things that I thought about whenever I was setting up my first accountability group? What I wanted to focus on my challengers and not on myself, obviously. I mean, that makes sense. But so these are the couple things that I kept thinking about. I don't want people to feel like they're losing money. And I know that sounds really silly. But like I said, I was not going to pay any of that money at first. It really was about money for me. And I signed up to coach, and I was 100% sure that I was making that $140 back in my first month. There was going to be no loss of income for me. And I told my husband that when I signed up, I will make this back. But our challengers aren't signing up to coach, so they aren't going to be making that money back. So to me, I want them to feel like they spent money and they got something out of it. I would be pissed if I signed up, if I spent $140 and then I never opened the package. I never opened the DVDs. I drank one shake. I would feel like I got ripped off. So I didn't want people to feel that way. So that was number one. One way I didn't want them to feel. I wanted them to see results. Obviously, that's what this is all about. They're coming to us with a struggle, whether they want to lose weight or whether they want to get healthy or whether they want to see their cholesterol come down or stabilize their blood sugars. I mean, now we obviously, I can't claim any of that, but we see that. We all see that happening. And so that was something that I wanted to make sure that my challengers had were results. So one, they didn't feel like they were losing money. Two, they saw that they had results. And then also, which naturally comes with it, they would fall in love with Beachbody, obviously, which I think is the easiest part. If we keep number two, if they start seeing results, they're going to fall in love with it. So something I want to kind of shift over to is this quote, and I know all of you have seen it, but the 70% of people that start a fitness plan quit. And that's like the great part about Beachbody is that we have found these accountability groups and we help people to stay accountable. So I've been thinking about this, and really I've kind of summed it up to this. And an ineffective challenge group is just like having nothing, right? So an ineffective one where no one's getting results, no one's posting, no one's falling in love with Beachbody is just like not running one at all. So what's the point of running one if it's not effective? So I want to kind of put it in numbers because I have like a number in mind sometimes, not all the time. But let's think of 10 people. So say we have 10 people in our accountability group. We have a kind of crappy group going on. Like not a lot of people are responding. We maybe fell off the wagon. We aren't really checking in with people, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe we have 3 people. There's 3 people, 30% of people that can do this on their own. They're there, they're checking in, they get results. So then we have 3 prospective people that could potentially be coaches with us, okay? Or let's turn it around and say we're running an effective group where I'm not even going to say 100% of people because we all know to keep 100% of people super engaged and effective and getting results is hard. So let's go with 70%. So we have 70% of the people in the group who are effective and engaged and getting results. Would you rather have 3 prospective coaches in your ineffective group that you're running? Would you rather have 7 prospective coaches that could then reach out to so many more lives? So that's just how I've kind of been thinking about it. All right, so yeah. All right, get on with the show. I know you guys want you want some things that you can do. What makes an effective group? Well, I was talking to some people before I was kind of like brainstorming, but and something was like getting people. How are you getting people into your group? So I know that some of you already know this stuff, but I want to go over what I personally do. Everyone's going to tell you something different. You can listen to one call and hear one thing, and I know I tell my personally sponsored coaches this, but you can hear one call and they'll tell you do this. You hear one call, they'll tell you do that. And one here, oh, don't do that, do this. So you've got to find what works for you. And this is what works for me, so I'm going to share it and hope that it works for other people. Okay, so I find this is how I find my challengers. I use fun images. This is the one that I just posted the other day. It's for one of my free groups. And yes, I spent way too much time trying to add the little abs into the turkey, but I thought it was funny, and I find joy in creating silly images, and I know that it'll make other people laugh. And so I use fun images for a reason, though. Taking a journey and making a step in a different direction. So people are coming to us because they have a long journey. They have to lose significant weight. They have medical problems, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many other reasons. That's scary. That's some really scary stuff. And so I use the fun images because I feel like it kind of takes the heaviness out of things sometimes, and people can be like, okay, this isn't as serious. I can talk to her about it. I don't want people to be like, oh, all I ever see here is Tasha's abs. Like, I don't want to go to her. And I don't have them right now either, so that's fine. But that's for real. Like, people are intimidated if all they ever see is us flexing and showing muscles and whatever. They need something a little bit more or a little bit less intense sometimes, and that's why I do these fun images. So I'm just going to show you a few of them. If you guys follow me, you see them way more often than you probably should, but I think they're fun. So if I can get this to work, here we go. So there's my sort of mixed flat with my tightening the booty basics. There's one that's a little bit more serious, but still, you have to show some results sometimes. That was one of my over the summer when I looked real good at that point in time. Oh, there I am with Sean T. We're working out together. My brother makes fun of my butts and guts picture all the time. He's like, seriously, Tasha? There's a sugar detox. That's not as fun, a crock pot meal. And then here I am with my photoshopped beach hat on. Like, that's ridiculous. That's like the most ridiculous picture in the world. And I am going to just say about this picture, I would never just put those 21 Day Fix image out there. That's, I think, the only time I've ever done that. But I did it specifically because I was only doing a 21 Day Fix challenge group that time, only for 21 Day Fixers. And I know I have people commenting. I cannot look at it or I'll get completely sidetracked, but I'll come back to that later. I am not a good multitasker. So anyway, I use the fun images. This is how I do it. I post them on my business page. I typically post them on my personal page or share them to my personal page, and I create an event invite. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I know you guys hear it all the time. I'm obviously inviting to my challenge groups through messages, through personal messages, not just like, hey, you want to join my challenge group, but building a relationship first. And then I'm also running all those free groups that you saw me run, the booty groups, the toning your tummy groups, the clean eating groups, all those different things. And then I'm talking to those people, and I'm hoping that then they're going to join into my 30-day, my 21-day challenge groups. And then rollovers. And my rollovers are my people who were in my previous challenge group, and they're rolling over into the next one. It might not be the best term for them, but that's what I'll refer to them as. So I think those people are really key, though. Those people are the people that I look at to see how long they're sticking with me, because I feel like those people are going to be the people who are going to show me if my groups are effective or not. Because you're going to have some people come in and out, but you're going to have people who stick with you for the long haul. And I have a lot of those people. And I actually have a good handful, probably about 10 people who have been with me for my full year. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, that's and some of them have come in and out, but most of them have stuck with me for about a year. And so I was sitting here and I was creating this, and I was thinking, why have they stuck with me? And two things I could think of was they tell me that they need the group, that they fall off the wagon if they don't have it. And they tell me, without saying this, that they're effective. They tell me this because I see results from them whenever they're in my groups. They're participating. They're sharing about it. They're sharing about their journey on social media, and they aren't coaches. Well, some of them are discount coaches now. But they are making progress in the group. Whenever they're kind of like not engaged, or I'm going to skip a group this month, they typically backslide. So that shows me that what I'm doing in my groups that makes my groups effective. All right, so moving on. All right, so I keep saying effective. What does that mean? All right, this is how I make my challenge groups effective. Number one, and I just heard this, I think Lindsay Matway just said this in a training, and I think it was her, that said, you have to be your best challenger. And I've heard it before too, but you have to be the best challenger in your group. And really, this hit home for me when I heard it, because my last month's group was not a good group. And I kept saying to my coaches, and any of them are on the call, I'm like, man, this group sucked. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm reflecting on it now, and I'm typically in a pretty fast-paced, like P90X3, 22-minute hardcore, 21 Day Fix Extreme. Those are the type of workouts I like. I took a month and I did the 3-week yoga retreat, which was great. But I completely kind of disengaged with that program because I wasn't getting that like crazy umph that I normally get from working out. So my nutrition kind of backslid, and my engagement in my group kind of backslid. And I'm 100% sure that's why that group wasn't as effective as they normally are. So if you aren't 100% on board with what you're doing, you're excited about what you're doing, then do something different. That's some of my main advice for you. But you have to be the best challenger in the group. You are the example. You are the person that the people who join, your challengers joined for. They see you. They want to join for you. They don't want to join for Tony Horton. They don't even know who he is half the time. They aren't joining for someone else in the group or for, their husband or whatever. They're joining because they want to make a change for themselves, and they're joining for you. They want you to support them for whatever reason it is. So you need to lead by example. You need to lead from the front. Just like we tell you with coaching, you have to be the person that's on the team calls and hitting Success Club and et cetera, all of that stuff. You need to be leading from the front in your challenge groups too. You need to be the one in there posting every day, rating your nutrition and your workouts, posting your sweaty selfies or videos or whatever you do in your group. You need to be doing that. If you aren't doing that, then no one else is going to do it, because why would they? But also, no one is attracted to perfection. People want to see flaws. So if you're going to lead from the front, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be, I had a 5-day every single day. You can have a bad day. That's okay. But be real about it. Let people know. My workout was great today, but then I went to work and it was cookie week, National Cookie Week, which it was this week, and I ate a cookie, which I did. I told everybody that, and it happens, okay? And am I going to eat healthy tomorrow? No, I'm not, and I'm going to tell my group that. But that's just being real, and that's relatable. And if anyone's telling me tomorrow that they're eating 100% clean, then I don't believe them. I think they're lying. So anyway, and tomorrow's Thanksgiving for anybody who watches this later. But you have to be real. You have to lead from the front. You have to lead by example. And you have to be a walking testimony, which is something that you hear all the time. You have to be completing. And I just talked to my coaches about this last month. You have to be in a program. You can't just be skipping around, doing this, doing that, walking a day, doing, sides a day, doing this a day. You have to be in a program, following the nutrition plan, drinking Shakeology every single day. You have to be able to talk about it, because you can't sell something, and yes, I said sell, and I said it for a reason, just give me a second, but you can't sell something that you can't stand behind. And I tell people that when I'm talking to them. Potential customers, I always tell them, like, I wouldn't try to convince you to drink Shakeology if I didn't 100% stand behind it. I 100% believe in it, and this is why. These nutrition programs are wonderful. Let me tell you what clean eating's done for me. You have to be able to tell people about it. You can't look at somebody and be like, that Shakeology, you should drink it. It's great. I don't, but you should. Like, who's going to buy it then? That doesn't even make any sense. So you have to stand behind it. And so back to that word sell. You can't sell something. And when I say something, I mean you. You can't sell yourself to people, potential people, if you are not a testimony to what we're trying to sell. If you are not that person that's living well, that's eating healthy, that's working out, then you aren't going to attract people, because they need somebody to lead them. Okay, I think I've stressed that point enough, but I really feel strongly about that. All right, so another effectiveness key within a challenge group: support your people. You have to support the people that you brought to this group. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you have to be in direct conversation with them every single day. You will go crazy. I did that at first, and I was completely overwhelmed. But you do need to get in, at least like their posts, make sure they're posting, maybe comment here or there. And then what do? At the end of every week, I try to follow up with my challengers. If I have people who are super on board and they're responding all the time, of course, I'm going to message them. But I'm also going to look for those people who have completely fallen off or haven't even started. Because back to what I said, I don't want somebody to feel like they spent $140 or more and then completely wasted all the money that they spent. They didn't get results. They think this is a big joke, or they feel like they get ripped off. I don't want anyone to ever feel that way. So you need to be checking with people and trying to engage them. I am 100% believer in you can't make somebody do something that they don't want to do, but or that they're not ready for at that point in time. But you can kind of help to push them a little bit. Sometimes you got to push somebody out of their comfort zone to get them to move. That's my counselor in me. not everyone's going to be 100% ready to change right whenever they purchase that challenge pack, but we're there to continue to follow up with them until they are. We're there to kind of just give them a little push and show them, by keeping them engaged in that challenge group, maybe seeing other people's results, what they can do. Okay, so I need a drink. It would have been way more fun if I pulled a beer out, but I didn't, so let's keep going. All right. And then the last few things, effectiveness. Create new group content. Whenever, especially because I have people who have been in my challenge groups for a year, I really feel like I need to have something new. So my group content, I try to switch it up every month. I'll use some of the similar things here and there, but I try to like pull in new things or pull in new thoughts from personal development that I'm doing, different challenges. I do a lot of challenges, which I'll talk about next, but within my, actually I didn't even put it on the slide, but I'll talk about it here in a minute. But see, now my brain's gone. Okay, so new content, new challenges. That's where I was going. Pull in new challenges. So when I say challenges, these are different things that I do. Maybe I had it on the slide before. I don't know. But I have weekly challenges that I do sometimes. So basically, typically on Thursdays, like wall sit challenges, plank hold challenges, all those different types of things. Anything you can hold or do in a certain amount of time, do those. Get people engaged and give them a little prize. It could be a Shake-O cup. Like, it doesn't have to be a shaker bottle. It doesn't have to be anything like super exciting. Like super expensive, I shouldn't say. It is exciting, but not anything super expensive. We can do weekly challenges. So where I'm counting points. I'm actually doing it my entire month this month. So I'm counting points all along the way for people who are responding, people who are checking in daily. They're showing me their sweaty selfies. Like, they're getting points. And then they're getting points at the end because they're showing their transformation with the group. Sometimes I have people within the group become accountability partners. And I think that that's super key because we are going to support them as much as we can. But if we have a big group, and some of my groups have been really big, it's hard to stay on top of all of the people in our groups. So to keep them accountable to responding and to somebody else, I'll assign them a partner in the beginning of the group. This is your accountability partner. Become friends. Support each other, or maybe make it a team partnership, like a team challenge. So a pair against another pair. All of these things. A lot of people are encouraged or motivated is a better word by little rewards. So yeah, I give out a lot of rewards in my challenge groups, and I know a lot of people don't do that, but I really think that it keeps everybody motivated. It's fun. It builds like people, especially the girls who have been in my groups for a long time, they know come plank challenge, oh, well, Emily is going to hold this plank for 4 minutes, so I'm going to wait till 10 o'clock at night after she holds hers so I can hold mine longer. I have girls that are so competitive with each other that they will wait till as late as possible. They'll stay up to hold their plank the longest swim. It's funny, but they all know each other, and my friends outside of Beachbody that are in my challenge groups talk about all the other people that I know through challenge groups like they know them. So that's a huge community that we create that helps to keep that whole, that helps to keep everybody effective, or helps to keep the challenge group effective, but keep everybody accountable so that they see results and continue to see results. I know I got a little off track there, but recognition, just recognizing people within the group. So, hey, shout out, look at you, you're doing great, blah, blah, blah. Just recognize people for anything. They just started the program. This is awesome. Great. You're making a step towards making a better life for yourself, whatever you want to say in your group. Just recognizing people, recognizing little accomplishments. And if you personally start to get to know people and they get a new job or they get, recognize those things. It doesn't always have to be about nutrition, fitness, Shakeology. It can be about different things too. We all have lives outside of this. It's okay to recognize that. So recognition not only within the challenge group, but outside of the challenge group. And always ask permission. Don't just recognize somebody. But I try to do, I've been trying to recognize my challengers more consistently for their transformations, and not just like a 50-pound loss transformation. It might just be somebody who just started, or they just had a baby and they're finally getting back on track, or they lost 10 pounds, or lost 10 inches or whatever it is. Just recognizing people outside, because it's a little scary, but when people get all that positive feedback that they do get once you post on Facebook, it is like everyone's always like, wow, that felt so good. Thank you so much. And that's just building more trust with you, which in turn adds to this whole idea of effective challenge group. They're trusting you, your effectiveness is going to grow and grow and grow. And then finally, just ending the group. So at the end of every challenge group, I always follow up with everybody. We've set goals at the beginning. Did you reach your goal? That's a big thing. We need to know if you're meeting your goals, because some people would just completely kind of like flatline and not move, or they'll do really great for 4 months and then they go flat. You need to figure out what's going on. So you need to be following up with them, checking on them. What are your goals? Did you hit your goals? If they didn't hit their goals, why? So let's look at your nutrition. Are you getting all your food in? I feel like that's the number one thing that I say all the time. Are you eating enough food? Which everyone always thinks I'm crazy, but for real, that's always the number one problem. You guys know this. But if they did meet their goal, then, okay, well, do you have a new goal? Let's establish a new one. And then goal checking at the end of the group and then sharing progress with everybody builds that community, and it also gets you set up just to roll people right over again and into the next month. So I know that was a lot of information, and I think that's pretty much where I wanted to end, but those are the things that I could think of, and I'm sure there's other things that people do that help to create that effective challenge group, a group where people are really engaged. But those are the things that I could think of. I hope that they were helpful for you. And then, of course, I just have to end on a fun little quote. But I thought this was really key. The effectiveness of a leader is best judged by the actions of those he guides. So in regards to this whole challenge group concept, if we aren't seeing any results coming out of our challenge groups, then we need to look at ourselves and what we're doing to lead these groups and lead the people who are in them. And I mean, take this for your team too. As a coach, we can transfer all of this, can transfer this into life. But okay, I have to be done or I'll go on forever. So I know I had like questions and stuff. Let me try to pull this up and see. I know Tiffany loves Tony Horton too. I know that's what you're talking about. Okay.
I was like dying. I'm like, I cannot wait. I like want to be at the event where you two see Tony together so I can be like, Catherine, I'm videotaping it. It's going YouTube viral.
Yeah, but Tiff's pretty buff, so I don't know if I could take her.
No, I would not fuck with her. But I would just be and like sorry, Katie, because you probably have like minions running around. I see like the top of my cousin's head over there. Katie LR5, little top of the head. But and you should wait, oh my gosh, wait, is Kai still up for real? Or is that Lincoln? No, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Will's supposed to be coming in, and he won't sleep without him coming into town.
Oh, Lord, when I hate being a single mom, this is where I'm like, thank God I'm a single mom. No offense to you guys. I'm like thankful for all your marriages. All right, I will see you tomorrow. We will touch back on that. So, Natasha, awesome call, and it is so funny because just so many things you said were just like ring so true. I mean, first of all, it's just I just love you because you're just so unique, and I feel like that stands out. And I always try to tell people, it's just like, it's so hard. Even sometimes when I've been coaching I'll be coming up on 3 years in January. And sometimes I'm even like, do I feel like I'm truly being true to myself? But when I look at coaches like you, I'm like, wow, like you're so inspiring to me to be true to who I am. And so like, like today I went on live and I told this weirdest story and it was so stupid about my Starbucks experience, but I didn't care. So I was like, you know what? That's like, to me, it was fucking hilarious. But, oh, so sorry, Kai. Or is that Lincoln? Either one. Here, put him on mute or something. But regardless, my point being is that, like, Natasha's so real to herself. And she has a different, you know, she's just her. She's real. She's raw. And she's just like, this is who I am. And that is what I try to tell coaches all the time. Be you. Be beautiful. Don't try to be like anybody else. You know, people will always tell you, go follow top coaches all of the time. And I don't know if Natasha did that. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. She can share that with us, like in a live video, maybe in the post when I post the recording or whatever. But I'll tell you, one thing I was told when I started coaching, and it's not about me, this whole call is about her, but people would say, go follow the coaches that you want to, like, that resonate with you, that you're like, and get the inspiration from them. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense, right? But then I feel like I was doing something wrong, or I wasn't good enough, or I'd start comparing myself. And Natasha, feel free to unmute yourself if you felt the same way, or anybody, feel free to.
No, I was typing, but yeah, no, I said this a lot when I first started, but I absolutely, and Ashley knows this, but I absolutely love Raina Odell. She's like my favorite coach in the world. I love her. And like, I always joke that like I have the head shave and I'm always like, I may have been inspired by Raina Odell. But
He's like,
she's amazing and her story is amazing and she is so real in sharing it. But I don't follow her. I don't really follow anybody. Like, I'll check up on her.
Me too. I feel the same way about it.
Mm-hmm. I just can't. I love her.
I adore her. Like, I see her all the time. I don't even know if I've introduced myself to her. I adore her. Like, we can like walk by and say hi, but like, it's just like that weird thing. It's just like, I adore her, but I'm not like a stalker, because I know if I like would compare myself to her, I'd start like overanalyzing myself, or maybe I'd be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Or I'm not enough as a coach, or there would be some weird thing. So what I always suggest for my coaches to do, because what I was taught to do, now mind you, this is 2 years ago, this is not what coaches may need to teach now, I don't know. They say like, oh, when you start coaching, and I know the Jesse Regan training teaches, they give you that like page of 50 like pages to follow. Don't freaking go follow those people. You are you. You're unique. You were called to coaching because you know what? Somebody needs you. They don't need me. They don't need Sky. They don't need Ashley. They don't need Katie. They don't need Jordan. They don't need, and I love you all. They don't need Island. They don't need Cassie, but God bless you all, because they don't need Ashley Pauling. Like there's somebody that needs every single one of us. And that's what you need to remember. You have to be true to you. And it's fun to go get inspiration, but I know from personal experience, when I started coaching, it's tempting to go out there and be like, copy paste, I'll curate that. But when you do that, you're not being you. So when I go to, like, even when Natasha first came to coaching, I was like, I freaking love this girl. She's so raw. And that's where, like, and it's not all daisies and sunshine and, you know, and that's what you have to be, because people are going to find the real, relatable raw. And we had this talk on our new coach training call last night about, you know, this, and it's just, you know, I'm just really thankful that you did this call, and I really appreciate it. And what I tell coaches, I say, find those people, maybe one or two or three. And this is what I recommend you do for your coaches. I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm not saying my way is right. Follow them for 30 days, maybe at the most. Then unfollow them, because you know what happened to me. I'll tell you what happened to me. I followed these people, and I'm like, oh, these are my people. These are the moms I relate with. Started following Lindsay. I started following, well, Lindsay's my mentor, so it's a little different because I like know her, like whole, like I don't say shenanigans, but like her whole story. And I know, like, but like I found these people, and I'm like, oh, I'm so relatable to this coach and that coach and this coach. start following them. And then, but what do? You start comparing yourself to them. You start comparing yourself to their posts. Then you're like, I posted something that was somewhat similar. They got 500 likes. I got 5 likes. Doesn't matter in your mind. You're like, okay, well, I don't have the traction to have yet, but it doesn't matter. You in your mind or minds, they're looking for that. We're looking for that quick fix, even when we're not looking for it. Our minds we're short-wired for that quick fix. Like how, or not the quick fix, but like the shortcut. The shortcut is what I'm trying to say. So like the shortcut, how are we going to get that way to get 50 likes versus 5 likes, right? So that's all I'm trying to say. Ashley Lockman, girl crush. No, Natasha, you are awesome. And I think that was a great call. And I'm so thankful that you were so willing to come and share your heart with us. And I just heart you, my ABB sister. She's like, I don't want to go on this call or like go off on that tangent. She's like, it would be so much better if next time bring your beer to your call. Girl, no, I'm like, here, let me unmute. Like, my gosh. I'm like seeing you laugh. I'm like, I want to hear her laugh. No, I don't like. I wish I had my beer. No, just bring your beer to your freaking call. Like, no, we don't judge. FitTRIBE.
Yeah, but I'm a lightweight, so that probably wouldn't have gone over very well. I would have been like, I don't know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, but all right, fine. Take your like little shot glass of beer. Remember,
yeah,
your real beer, and then be like, I did. We all know our limitations. It was such a great time having you on our call. Oh, wait, hold on. I have to do recognition. I have to be responsible on shit like that, right? And you guys are killing it. But I couldn't include myself because I couldn't figure out where my own recognition went. So I apologize for that. Because I like to include myself on it just to keep myself up to par, because I feel like I think I've learned from coaches is they get lazy bones. And I don't want to be one of those people with Success Club and things. Also, do you, like, for your challenge groups, do you feel like you have things that are, like, that help leverage them, like scripts or maybe particular posts even? Like, I feel like I have certain, like, I feel like my prep week on I feel like my first week of posts, I could be wrong, are like golden for helping people get the right launch into their, like, their kickstart with. So I'm interested to see if you feel the same way with anything you have to offer. If you'd be willing to share that with us.
I don't know that I feel like I change mine so often. Like, I know there are definitely some posts, the ones about like sharing your why, sharing why you're worth it, sharing like those.
Yeah, that's consistently like in the same.
Yeah, those emotionally connected like assignments are ones that are like, I feel like get people kind of re-engaged or engaged.
Like ingrained in your script though?
Yeah, typically I try to keep those ones. And I mean, some of them came from Ashley too. Ashley had, shared her curriculum with me, and I keep ones in that I think are effective, and I try to kind of, not everyone, but
we all tweak.
Yeah. So I mean,
because I feel like we all should just, like, as a team, when I feel like we all kind of put in our input, we can get the best results. I've tweaked my stuff because Lindsay gave me stuff, and I was always thinking that was, like, the stuff that worked. And then I quickly found out, like, as time went on 2 years later, that my own stuff worked better. And then Ashley found her stuff worked better. And you're finding your stuff works better. So I just, like, I'm trying to find a way that we can shift a portal where we can all kind of put our stuff together. People can figure out what works for their people, because I feel like we all have different people. We have different mindsets. We have people that work with different learning So that's where I was just kind of like going with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think,
I need the school counselor and you to come out because I'm a nurse and I don't know shit about
yeah. Well, I think that that's part of it though. Like, whereas you probably know the more like the health side of things, the fit, you probably know the nutrition side of things better than I do, but I get that whole that emotional side of,
right.
And I try not to like play the counselor role because I don't want to do that. But that is a part of it. I mean, that's a part of it that we all end up taking on.
That's a big part of it, though. I feel like it's just like mind over matter, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And those posts, like the posts that you could provide, versus like something I'm gonna like. I had this big nutrition plan written up. I just have to figure out like the logistics of it because we have to be very careful providing content online technically, because if I go put a workout online and somebody gets injured, they could like sue me. Which is where I get like very gray with like all the trainings they put out where they're like post workouts, and I'm like, oh, killing me. But anyways, back to recognition. Ashley Lachlan is killing it. 18 points on the board. Sarah McMillan, 10. Sarah Kaminsky, 8. Kelly Gunn. Anu, 8. Cassie Holly, 8. Natasha Nayduch, 6. And I know these may not be up to date, but this is where my office is right now. Benito Edwards, 6. Nikita Shields, 6. Jennifer Fernandez, 6. Michelle Ackley, 6. Leah Medina, 6. Kristen Blackburn, 6. Danielle Malin, 5. And she's a brand new Coaching Success Club, so I have to give her a little shout out. Ronnie Stringer, Jackie Shade, Jordan Higa. Jordan, come on, unmute if she's on, unmute yourself and like
Higa.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, I hope to make my note. Megan Graham, Shannon Allen, Rachel Ackley, Whitney Pugh, Aylin Nardran, Jessie Clopton. One more person, you guys. You will be ready to go. We have basically a week to go. And I'm not going to go into the choose. I will post a board, I promise. I've been lacking on that, but it's just a matter of priorities at this point, and I've had a lot of family stuff going on. Okay, so top volume earner for the week is Sarah Kaminsky, 773. Whitney Pugh in the 500 Club, 600. Ashley Lachlan, Ashley Poling, Kay Galliano, Sarah McMillan, Sky Miller, Michelle Ackley, Megan Graham, Danielle Malin, Galena Medina, Ronnie Stringer, 250 Club. So you guys are doing awesome as we head into this final leg of the month. And I just want to give you all props. I'm so proud of all of you. Keep going strong. And don't let that like mental block of just like seriously just clear off the holiday mental block. That's all I can tell you. Because it's a mental, that is all it is. It's a mental block. Because I started to like get into that mental block earlier, like last week. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like let it go. And then that's when like things started to like make more sense, filter in, and people are like, no, I need this group. I need this during the holidays. I need my jump start. I need to get into this. And that's the truth. It really is. I need to be that example. I need to set the way. I need to say, like, let my friends know that they can do this too. So just don't, and if you guys didn't see, the holiday slides for the objections, I'll repost them. I'll tag them if you need them, whatever. I'll put them back up. But just know, you guys, don't let the holidays be that mindset of defeat, because whatever you put out there in the universe is going to be that mindset for you. Okay? So you guys have a great night. I'm so thankful that you guys were all on. Natasha, thank you so much. Y'all were awesome. And next week, it is debatable. I don't think we're going to... My regional mentor from corporate in Utah is like, him and I are like debating, because he's like, I'm going to have a call. And I'm like, well, he's like, I'm going to do a call and then I'm going to do like a live team thing. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, he's like, I'm going to wear a terrible towel on my head because he knows I'm from Pittsburgh. He like jokes with me about it. And I was like, you are crazy. But he's really excited because we are number 260 in the network. Well, on our way to being an elite team again. So super exciting stuff. And so it's just like a lot of exciting things happening. And he was teasing because I was like telling him about the whole backwash with our, I was like, it's like the biggest bummer when you go and invest in a retreat and then it like backfires on you. And it's not the retreat you planned it to be. But I know that God will bless us with a bigger and better retreat next year. Or even maybe our other teams within our team will have their own retreats and stuff, and that's even awesomer. But the point being is that Jeff and corporate are like totally supportive and are like, we'll do a recording, we'll do live calls, and I'm just like, I need to absorb it all and let you know. So I will let you know if there's going to be a team call next week and maybe a recording. It may be live from Orlando, Florida. I will keep you posted as soon as I decide with my corporate people. So thank you guys. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Good Vibe Tribe. And, everybody. Night. Happy Thanksgiving, my U.S. peeps. I don't even think we have any of our Canadians on, do we? No, we don't. I'm like, no, I just talked way too long. Everybody's like, fuck this, log off. All right, guys, love ya. Have a good night.